season. Please welcome my friend, Dr. Oz.
Proud of you.
Thanks.
I really am proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouraging phone calls and texts, too.
You're worth every little bit you get. You're so special, so unique. This woman has been through a lot, and she shows the fortitude, the strength that all women have deep inside. I'll tell you a little story that Oprah told me once. We once went to this retreat, and there were all these women who'd gone through difficult times, and they told the story of the samurai sword. You know how the Japanese make the samurai swords? Mm-hmm. They would take the metal and they'd hammer it, and then they'd turn it over and hammer it again, and then they'd hammer it more, and the more they hammered it, the more it dealt with, the sharper it got, until it finally became the ultimate weapon for truth.
Okay.
Because our goal in life is to take our truth and take all that chaos around us and turn that chaos into something that gives light to the world, and you're doing that.
Thank you. And I so often, like, I want to, like, have a real talk with you, but I don't want to burden you. And I know that you're there, but I just can't, Mehmet. I just can't.
You don't need to talk to anybody.
And then I'm waiting for an invitation to one of you and Lisa's soirees. And
I'm taking you home with me after the show.
I mean, congratulations, 4th grandchild from Daphne. So when is she due?
She's due end of August. It's the best thing possible. And you know, I tell you, as a grandfather, I'll tell you, it's unique. First of all, you can always give them back, which is sort of nice. But the reality is that and I think every grandparent feels this, you feel the joy of your child feeling joy. And so it's double. You get some multiplier. And it's actually, it's worth all that investment you put into raising them.
I mean, they are a good-looking family. And for you, on the Dr. Oz show, if you've noticed, you've been doing a lot of investigative reporting.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
All right, buddy. Take this.
No, I don't want to. No, you'd always do this, Mehmet.
It's yours. Take it. It goes well with the chartreuse.
Thank you. I love a man who knows his colors. Talk about the investigations.
So we do a lot of investigations of food. You know, we have a big show on bacon this week, which I know you all love. And there are ways of eating it safely, and there are cold cuts, and there's some lessons there. But we just get the whole meat cold cuts, not the cheapy stuff that's been mixed up with salt and sugar. But we also do investigations about true crime. In fact, today's show is this crazy story, abducted in plain sight, about this woman who, I don't know, and these are good people. They're on the show. I'm telling you, if you talk to them, you'd never understand how this could occur. But she was raped over 200 times by a family friend, and the man groomed the whole family. And you see this happening, and the reason I think America's captivated by true crime, the reason as a doctor I talk about this, because it's all about forensics and mental health and the deeper issues about why we are searched for evil, because we can avoid it.
Yeah.
You know, we are hardwired to actually try to find out where the bad stuff is so we can keep ourselves away from it. And so true crime sort of exposes it if it's done right.
Well, it's very interesting. And now I want to talk about hot topics.
Hot topics, take it away.
Okay. Because, you know, the Met Gala happened, and Kim Kardashian, by the way, I have a throwback picture of you. Wait, before we do Kim, look at Mehmet and also Lisa and then Oprah at the Met Gala. When was this? When was this, oh, we don't have to pick,
Oh my goodness.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, hey.
I've never seen that picture.
Well, she's kissing you on the lips.
I didn't even know that. She took me to the Met Gala. There was Lady Gaga was performing that year.
Oh.
Yeah, and it is something else to sit next to Oprah at the Met Gala, because everyone's coming over to talk to her.
Yeah.
So you don't have to move. You just sit there, just go second. It's like a wedding reception. You just wait for the next person.
Look, did you see the pictures of Kim Kardashian at the Met Gala this year?
I did.
First of all, Mehmet, Lisa aside, how does she look to you?
Well, I mean, I think she's a very attractive woman.
Yes,
personally.
yes.
And I've got to know her, and she actually came on the show my first season. When we started together, she was one of the first guests I had, because her father had died of cancer. And it affected their whole family in very profound ways. So it was, but I love what she's doing about criminal justice now.
Well, forget that. Let's talk about the ribs. Let's talk about the ribs and the waist. Let's get down to the get down.
All right.
We talked about it yesterday on Hot Topics, and she said that it was a corset. She didn't get ribs removed. Can we talk about this look right here? Is this dangerous for women? Because a lot of women wear corsets to get that
I would
look.
definitely not do weight training. These corsets are a real problem. I'll tell you what they do. First of all, physically, they push you so much, they bend your rib permanently.
Oh.
They make a little indentation in your liver because of that.
Oh, wow.
But the bigger problem is it constricts you so much you get reflux. It can block the blood supply back to the body, so you get dizziness and you can faint. And it causes pneumonias. I mean, there's lots of potential risks of these waist trainers. Every time you see that picture, it's like an advertisement for the stuff because people want to go look like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how your body is supposed to look, and it's not supposed to do it through waist training. You guys are worth more than that.
Okay. Just real quick about getting a rib removed. I mean, you're the doctor. I've heard that people have gotten ribs removed to get that waist. Do people, I mean, is that a possibility?
Yes, but I wouldn't do that. Those ribs are there for a reason. God gave you those ribs. You're supposed to have them.
Yeah, but you have a lot of them, so you can get the bottom two removed on each side.
The bottom ribs are there to protect the spleen and the liver.
See?
Those are important organs, right?
See?
If you don't like your liver, your spleen, take the ribs out. But ideally, you keep them around just in case. You never know.
Perfect, perfect. Now, you mentioned mental health.
Yeah.
As part of your Dr. Oz, the new investigation thing and everything, and we all know mental health is a huge ignored issue in this country. Britney Spears, we talk about her on Hot Topics. There's a Free Britney campaign. Britney hasn't been well for quite some time, Dr. Oz. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, Britney's been, and again, I'm not taking care of her, but she's talked publicly about the fact that she has bipolar.
Yes.
And bipolar people are very bright. They see the world in psychedelic colors. It is hard to be bipolar. And the people in her inner circle, I believe, are doing their best to help her and support her. Now, I get the part that you don't want to have someone else in conservatorship till they're 35, and I understand that. But I don't think we should be on the outside picking on what they're doing to protect her.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're trying to do. And especially with the illness of her dad and all and that's, they're very close. So that really throws a wrench in the works if you're bipolar, because you're barely walking the tightrope of life, and then an illness pushes you over the edge, and someone tries to hold you on, and then people start complaining that they're holding you. So I think that we leave her alone, let her do what she thinks is best for herself.
Yeah. Because her fans want her to perform and be the Britney that they know, and maybe she's not ready for that. Just let her relax.
There's a high suicide rate with bipolar. It's people go into substance abuse a lot. And yes, performing is valuable. I know we selfishly want to have that from her, but if she's not a healthy person, that's not good for any of us.
Yeah. Dr. Oz, we use the word anxiety a lot. We're going to talk about Justin Bieber in just a second, but I just need a clear definition. What is anxiety?
Anxiety is where you build this fortress inside your mind to protect yourself. You think you're putting up walls that keep you safe. You're actually building a cage for yourself. And that cage that you live in creates this intense anxiety, almost like claustrophobia, where you are rigid, you can't respond, you can't move. Part of the reason I'm so excited about these new treatments for anxiety and PTSD, and I know we're going to talk about celebs with these issues in a sec, is because the FDA just approved a drug called ketamine, which is special K.
Right.
It's mescaline.
Yeah, that's a drug from back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
They renamed it, and what are they trying to do with it?
Well, it seems to break people out of this cage that they created in their mind. And when you do that, now your brain can react to the world around you. Listen, life's supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be a challenge, but we have the resilience, as you've proven, to be able to figure out ways of getting through the difficult challenges of our existence.
Without a ketamine.
So if you need to use, but these one-time doses, it's not a party drug, by the way. We're not talking about raving. We're talking about ancient treatments that have been used, many of these. For example, marijuana, medical marijuana, when it's used appropriately, ayahuasca.
Did you hear that they're trying to make mushrooms legal?
Yes, yeah, a magic mushroom, right? Which is psilocybin.
No.
Yeah, I know, but it's not about going to a party and listening to loud music. I'm talking about medically supervised care. Shamans would do this thousands of years ago.
Dr. Oz, you didn't go to the college I went to. No. You were busy with the stethoscope. Let me tell you something. Mushrooms do not need to be legalized. Convince me.
Give me a shot at it.
Go ahead.
You know who Bill Wilson was, started AA? Alcoholics Anonymous?
Yes.
You know how we believe may have actually stopped drinking? Because AA didn't exist before he started it. He had these weird psychedelic experiences, probably helped with some types of hallucinogens, where he finally saw life as it really was. He didn't do it all the time, but he wanted to bring LSD into the 12-step program. of AA. He tried in the 40s and 50s to do this. And then by the time the 60s came around, the hippies and this and that, it sort of became a cultural issue not to allow these things. And I don't want recreational use of any of these drugs.
Okay.
But if you're really stuck, if you've got bad depression, bad alcoholism, bad cigarette addiction, these have actually been shown in very small trials to be effective in getting people with 1 or 2 doses just to break free enough that they can reset. And you know when your iPhone freezes up? What do? You turn it off, turn it back on.
Samsung, like me?
You get a Samsung. When your Samsung freezes up, what do? You turn it off, you turn it back on again. And that's part of what this does, if appropriately supervised. And my friends in this space I'm so surprised by this as well, but they're over and over again re-emphasizing it seems to work.
So Justin Bieber, everybody revealed recently, we talked on Hot Topics, that he suffers from bad anxiety. And have you been following him and his behavior in the news? And you know, he's married, but he still claps back and stuff on social media, but he goes to church a lot. What are your thoughts on Justin Bieber and what he's doing right now?
I think he realizes his fragility, his weakness. And when someone actually has that insight, that's the biggest breakthrough.
Yeah.
Because if you ignore that reality, then your whole life is a fiction.
I like that he's sharing it with us.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
that sharing a problem makes you weak at all. You know, you gotta have the strength, and then you share the problem, and you'd be surprised how many people are right in your corner, like right on, right on, right on. Now,
It is, by the way, I think the most difficult thing we do in life is to tell the truth.
tell me about it, Dr. Oz, please. Post-traumatic stress. I just wanna say this very quickly, and then I got a really hot picture of Dr. Oz.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I do.
It's like an expose.
Selena Gomez is going through post-traumatic stress. You know, when she was on stage and they remember that story?
Yeah, the United Kingdom in Birmingham, and they had the terrorist attack.
Right.
All these poor people died.
She was on stage, didn't realize what was happening, but anyway, so she's got post-traumatic stress. Do you have any advice for her regarding that? This is terrible. That, you know.
Well, she actually posted brain images I saw, and it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But I was mentioning earlier that the FDA just approved a new treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. We're getting much better at it because so many of our GIs coming back from overseas wars are afflicted by it.
Yeah.
But it hurts women in this country a lot because of domestic violence. So it's commonly seen. The most important thing with post-traumatic stress disorder is to gently get you to realize, listen, it's a natural instinct to be overreactive if you've been traumatized.
Right.
You have this thing, there's part of the brain called the amygdala. It's named after it's almond shaped. It's a word for almond. And it sends out these warning signs. Be careful, watch out, it's bad, it's not good. And so if that gets overactive, you can't stop it. Women have an amygdala that fires, say the word for me, amygdala.
Amygdala.
Perfect, now you're a doctor. So so the amygdala fires 10 times more commonly in women than men. So women are much more prone to this kind of stuff. So we've got to find a way of calming the amygdala down. Here's the big issue. If you don't calm it down, it keeps sending too many signals out, it actually shuts down other parts of the brain. You can't learn, you can't cope.
She's going through it.
Yeah.
Wow, well, thanks for explaining that to us now. Look at this picture of Mehmet. It's Throwback Thursday.
Oh my goodness. I was in college.
About college?
That was college. Oh my goodness.
Future Dr. Oz. Thank you so much. It's always nice to see you here on the couch, but even more nice to know you in person. Thank you so much. Watch the Dr. Oz show weekdays. Check your